Today I'm going to spend a little bit of time working on my little Kubota tractor. It's an old, I think 2000 or so Kubota. That has been a fantastic little tractor. I bought it used, about 600 hours on it. But I decided I wanted to put a third function. Let me adjust myself here. I wanted to put a third function on it because I want to use a grapple. And the grapple's really big, so it's about the size of a bucket. And so it's going to be a lot, but I want to use it anyway. I want to spend the time today to get that going, and I'd like to take you along with me. Beautiful fall day here in the Volunteer State. Here's my Titan Attachments grapple. It's called the Econo Bucket SS. I guess that's super stock. I don't know. I haven't even taken the paperwork off yet, but this is it. A little bit dusty, but it's a pretty nice thing. I like it a lot. Looks pretty good. As I said, it's about, I don't know, at a 5 foot maybe? I think it's 6 feet. It's a 6-footer, if I remember correctly. So that's probably about accurate. Looks nice. It's pretty large on my little tractor. Like I said, I've got a small tractor. It's not that big a deal. It's about the size of a bucket. So we're going to see how it goes. Get everything on it here. We'll see what we can do with it. Got a kit from W.R. Long. I'll show you that in a minute here. And we'll talk about the kit and how it all stacks up. And as I said, W.R. Long is the organization I got the kit from. So what I have here is you get this nice packing slip that says this is packed with love by these people. Here is sort of a third function valve instruction manual. This is a DJI that doesn't come with it. This is something else I'm working on. I've got a lot of projects going at any given time. You do get these hoses. So you get these 2 long hoses that come with it. So we'll put those over here, 2 long hoses. You get one intermediate type hose here. You get the mount with a couple of hose connections there. You get an inline fuse. You get the actual valve itself, the third function valve. You get the switch, and you get this unit that actually bolts onto your shifter, to your to the handle, the joystick control for your loader. And on mine, of course, you go back to go up, forward to go down, left or right to tilt forward or back on the bucket. So that's those are the contents of the kit. This kit is a 12-gallon per minute kit, D03, I think is what they called it. Actually, the company that I went through to buy this is Messick's up in Pennsylvania. And I talked with a guy named Nate, I should say. Glessner, I think was his name up there. Nate was phenomenal, and everything I've ever gotten through Messick's has been phenomenal. So yeah, here's the information on the kit. It is a VKW 01009. I have a 1009 Woods loader on there, and there we go. So great. I think it's a really well put together kit. We'll find out when I start actually putting things together. Things have escalated quickly, and started working on this and had to do drag out some other tools and take a look at some other things. I'll show you here. So the first thing is that this valve is supposed to mount on a couple of these, and you can see that doesn't work. Plus, I don't like the fact that if you mount this, let me see if I can demonstrate. If you mount this like this, it's going to stick out past the side of the tractor. And that just seems like a recipe for disaster to me. So what I've decided to do Number one, I had to drill some new holes in here. Got some extra heavy duty hardware. I didn't need that big of a hardware, but these are big. These are some big loops in that. So this is going to bolt on essentially right here, like that. And this is whole thing's gonna tilt back more. You can see where the bracket was originally, but this is sort of the idea. And this will protect it. It won't be sticking out on the side of the tractor. There you can see that won't stick out. It'll be protected there. I think I like that idea a lot better. And you can see from the tools that I've accumulated out here that things have definitely escalated quickly. I had the big breaker bar. This is a Harbor Freight, what is that? Icon, really nice breaker bar. And then I got this drill. I had my DeWalt drill out, but it started smoking. I think I burned it up. Haven't used it much, but it is definitely beyond repair at this point, most likely. So I got this big hammer drill. This is an old Black & Decker 5.5 amp hammer drill. And that thing right there, well, let's just say it will absolutely wrap you around. It'll turn you around like an amusement park ride if you're not careful. But it works great. So that's where we are for right now. I'm going to mount this up, and as I get this mounted, tightened up, I'll bring you back and kind of tell you where we go from here. There are a couple questions I still have, and I'm kind of answering them as I go. I have a general idea where to tie in to the hydraulic block on the tractor is still a question for me. Everything else I pretty much have down. So we're going to go ahead and get this cranked up here, and I'll bring you back when I've got it together. Well, it's another day, and I did get my third function kit installed. This sticks out a little farther than I would like, but it's kind of just a test to see if I like the way things work. But here's the setup. I kind of have it on. It works great. Here we go, plumbed in as it were. It's plumbed in right there. And there are a couple things. I think the key thing is I took the Power Beyond port and tied it back into, I don't remember exactly now, but the Power Beyond port is right here. It's this one. So the Power Beyond port loops back around and comes back up to the port on the bottom of the valve there. Hard to see. And then I took what was the Power Beyond port, what was the input into the Power Beyond port, and I brought that up and tied it into, let's see, where did that go? It comes up and goes back here in the A side of the block. So the instructions call for some things that I didn't do because it wanted me to take that short hose here and to tie that back to the block, or to the pump, and then to take the other hose and loop it. The longer hose that's on my that was originally on here, this one back here, it wanted me to loop that one back up, but that didn't make sense. So brought it up, tied it in there, and looped the Power Beyond, and Bob's your uncle, as they say. So it's all mounted up, ready to go to work. Another day, like I said, but it works great, and I've got no major complaints. WT Long, I think, was the name of the company that I bought this from, and it is fantastic. They are fantastic, works well, so you can't recommend them highly enough. One last thing, I've used my Grapple quite a bit. I don't have any footage of using the Grapple. I was looking for it earlier today. Don't have it. Here's Maggie coming over to say hi. But I do have a couple of things to say about. first of all, the clips. These were just regular hairpin clips that went through from one side to the other on both sides of the pin. And I ran into a problem with it in that I did have brush get caught in the hairpin clip and yank it out. And so this pin ended up popping out on one side. I can't remember which one. I think it was the other side over there. At any rate, because these are regularly being interfered with or making contact with brush as you're trying to move things around, the clip could pull out. So I ended up drilling these out, and I put these smaller clips in. You can see here. I drilled them out just slightly larger holes. I put these lynch pins in, and just put a chain on it so that if one ever falls out, I'm not going to lose the whole thing. I put those on all 4 connection points there, and that was the only improvement that I've made to it. And man, was it an improvement, because I haven't had any problems since. Everything has worked fine. This Grapple will lift far more weight than you would ever think. It's a tiny little tractor, a little 26 horsepower tractor, but it's not heavy. And it can pick up enough weight to pull the back of the tractor off the ground, including the backhoe. So it'll lift far more than you need to be lifting with the tractor. So I can't recommend the Titan attachment Grapple. The long 3-point or the long third function valve. I can't recommend any of this any more highly, because it works fantastically well. I hope this may help you if you decide you want to ever add one of those, but I certainly, above all, I would recommend this upgrade, because I'm telling you, save you a lot of hassle and a lot of heartache down the road. And in fact, I've just started putting these lynch pins in everywhere where I would have had one of the old hair clips. I hate those hair clips, because the hairpins, because they end up being hard to pull out. And in the case of this one, they popped right out. So that's the update for you. And until I see you again, endeavor to persevere.